proper procedures for sample reduction, proper sample sizes, sample identification, and sample splitting techniques. Proper sample reduction is critical to maintaining the integrity of the sample which we have required in the field. Please refer to page 4 and 92 of your manual for the definition of the importance of a proper sample. An aggregate sample submitted for testing must accurately represent the entire supply of material. A representative sample is one that, once tested, will show physical and chemical property values that match the average values for that body of material from which the sample was taken. Aggregates are used in many applications, all of which depend on proper test data. The Level 1 technician is the most important link in the quality control chain. Sampling procedures must prevent segregation and minimize sample variation. Everything is dependent upon the sample test results. ODOT Supplement 1004 provides detailed guidance on materials needed for sieve analysis for fine and coarse aggregate. This procedure starts on page 84 of your manual. The chart on page 85 of your manual details the minimum weight of sample needed based on the size designation of the aggregate. In this chart, what is the minimum field sample needed for a number 57 aggregate? If you said 66 pounds, you are correct. A number 57 must be split at least one time to obtain a minimum test sample size of 22 pounds. Remember, there is no maximum field sample size requirement. If in doubt, sample more than you think you will need. Sample identification and labeling will stay with the sample throughout the testing process. The more detailed this information is, the more useful it can be. This is particularly important when trying to determine problems at the processing plant or issues in the field. Always provide 2 identification labels, one for the outside of the sampler container and one for the inside. Always use permanent or waterproof markers. A plastic or Ziploc baggie will further protect the identification tag. These are examples of identification tags that may be useful. The top right photo is an example of tags used by ODOT. Here are sampling tools, containers, and tags ready for work. When acquiring samples for a number 200 wash or decant, make sure to place the sample in a clean container to avoid contamination that could result in erroneous results. There are 3 primary methods for sample reduction. Method A, using a mechanical splitter. Method B, quartering. And Method C, miniature stockpile sampling. These were illustrated in the previous video and are outlined in your manual beginning on page 46. When splitting fine aggregates like concrete or asphalt sand, the minimum number of chutes required is 12. Splitters should always have an even number of chutes to ensure an even split. Coarse aggregate splitters have adjustable chutes. The opening must be at 50% larger or 1.5 times than the largest particle in the sample. What should the openings be set for a sample containing a top-size particle of 1? If you said the opening should be 1.5, you are correct. Here's an example of quartering. Now that we have learned the proper methods of stockpiling, stockpile recovery, and sample reduction, think of the consequences or problems that could occur if we do not follow proper procedures that we learned today. Some consequences of improper sampling include poor pavement performance, cracking, rutting, or raveling, decreased project life, low-strength concrete, or pop-outs or deformation. Job shutdowns or delays, lost time and lost credibility can all result from not following proper procedures. Can you think of other consequences? You may use your manual and any notes to complete the test. A score of at least 70% correct is needed for passing your Level 1 pre-qualification. This concludes this presentation on sample reduction. And now it's up to you. This concludes the Ohio Level 1 Aggregate Technician Training. Time for you to take your test. Remember, this is an open book, open note test, so use your notes and your manual for assistance. We wish you the best as you take your test. Thanks for watching. I'm Ron Smith. On behalf of all of us at the OAIMA, have a great day.